In this video, I'll be introducing you to a concept called mapping the competitive landscape. That simply means researching into your competitors, the industry, as well as any other factors that are at play. You need to know the lay of the land and where to position yourself, where the opportunities for your brand may lie. Hi there, and welcome to the Brand Pod by BaseX Studio. My name is Otto Abasi, and I am here to help you build your brand. I started this YouTube channel to help you understand branding and how to apply its techniques and lessons to help your business stand out and connect with your tribe, connect with your customers. This video is a part of building a winning brand series, right? Which is a series where we go through all the different steps in building your brand, outlining your brand, and building your brand strategy and your business strategy. In this video, I'll be introducing you to a concept called mapping the competitive landscape. That simply means researching into your competitors, the industry, as well as any other factors that are at play. You need to know the lay of the land and where to position yourself, where the opportunities for your brand may lie. The thing is, no business or brand exists in a vacuum. There are a lot of customers out there who need your services. There are also a lot of businesses, who are trying to get in and service those people as well. So competition is inevitable. But the thing is that competition is also really good because it means that there's an existing market for what you're trying to do. There are a lot of people already doing that thing. There are a lot of service providers. There are a lot of customers. Demand is high. In that case, you can probably really scour the playing field to find an underserved segment of that market, like people who are not really serviced to the full extent of their needs. And then maybe you can position your brand to focus on them, and then you carve out success in an already competitive space. So if you want to succeed in the marketplace with your brand, if you want to build this thing around your business that gives you an edge, you have to do some recon. You got to be like a soldier, you got to be like a scout, you got to see what's out there. So how do we do that? We've got to look at our competitors, right? And there are two types of competitors. You have your direct competitors and your indirect competitors. So a direct competitor is the kind of people who are doing exactly what you do. They offer the same kind of service to the same kind of audience in the same kind of way, more or less, right? Those are your direct guys. So if we look at an app like Netflix, your competitors will be people like your Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Apple TV. Let's look at those three as competitors. So they do basically the same thing as Netflix does, which is provide movies and shows on demand for your audiences to watch. Now, an indirect competitor for Netflix would be something like YouTube, for instance. It's also a place where you can chill, watch videos, and relax. But you just want to be entertained. That's the point. They're trying to solve the entertainment problem, and then instead of watching a movie, you decide to watch some YouTube channels, or watch a show or watch stream or something. That's an indirect thing. Now, Netflix even looks at something like sleep as an indirect competitor because they're really trying to monopolize your attention as much as possible, right? They're trying to make sure that, hey, you're here looking at them. Even your phone, social media, that is also another competitor. And they have actually factored that into your strategy where they make all these shows that are second screen worthy or appropriate, which means that you could be on your phone and still follow this show. You can still follow this thing without needing to pay too much attention to it. Now, you may not agree if that makes a good quality show or not, but they have a good sense of what their landscape is, and they're able to essentially work towards that and work around that. So even though you are on social media half the time, you're still watching their show. They still have you paying attention. So that's an idea of your direct and indirect competitors. So when you're looking at your brand, you now need to look at, hey, what other people in the space do what I do, especially to the level that I want to do it. Who else is out there? What are they doing? How do they, how does their visual brand look? How does their website look? How do they talk? How do they price? Are they more luxury or more accessible? Are they, really high demand or low effort? Is it done for you? Is it done by you? How do they operate in the space? And you need to know this so you can, map your messaging, your personality, your strategy, your offers, everything properly to account for these factors, right? So you need to do that deep dive into your brands, your competitors, and how they're doing things. So go through everything, man. Look at their websites, check out their social media pages, stalk them, check out their podcast, YouTube, look at everything they do. Look at their advertising, their billboards, their marketing material. the videos, get in contact with them if you can, call them, buy something from them, realize what it's like, figure out what it's like to actually patronize those companies and those brands and see what they do well and what they don't do well. In the previous video, we talked about looking through your audience. So we also have that. So you can also see, based on what your audience needs, are any of these people really meeting their needs, or are there places where they're missing out on, things that you could do to step things further? So when you have all this data in your hand, right, what you have to do is now you can do something what's called a 2x2 matrix, and I'll show that here. And that essentially you're going to plot everybody against certain ideals or certain qualities, and you're going to see where they lie in this field, in this distribution. So maybe in the instance of Netflix, if we think about it now, we could say, maybe we look at their content and say, okay, which apps have original content as opposed to, more legacy content, more existing IPs that they are licensing. Or you could say which one has more prestige, more high budget, highbrow kind of shows versus who has a more casual viewing experience. And something like Apple takes years on both boxes. Apple TV, they do a lot of original content really, and at the same time it's very highbrow, very HBO TV like kind of content. So once you have these qualities in place, right, you can now plot the graph and see where everybody lies and discover maybe there's an opportunity here that no one is playing at, or maybe there's a twist we can do on this to make our thing different. Doing all of this stuff is a lot of work, but it gives you all the insights that you can take to really craft something special as far as your brand and how you take yourself to market is concerned. So yeah, that's basically it, man. That's competitive positioning and really what it means, and that's why it's important to do it. In our previous videos in this series, we talked about other things like your brand core, like knowing your audience, knowing your brand ambition, all that stuff, and all of that is important to know to get to the stage of now looking at your competitors. So if you haven't seen those yet, please go back and check those out. In an upcoming video, we're going to be looking at how do you position your brand with all this information, knowing who you are, knowing what they want, what your audience wants, knowing who your competitors are and how they play in the game. How do you now, position yourself, and what are the things you can do to make yourself stand out and really capture the hearts and minds of your audience? And see you there. Check it out for that episode, that lesson. Thanks for watching.